From the Opelka Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson here with Barry Tramel. We are brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online right now and get your pizza at papajohns.com. It's time for We Pick 'em, Barry. Got some pretty good games this week, so let's get right to it. Georgia goes to Auburn to start off with. Who you got in this one?
Well, I really wanted to pick Georgia. I'm going with Auburn, though. Georgia's been beat up bad on injuries. At one time, they were as good as anybody in the country. Played a killer early schedule, played it pretty well, but they've been beat up. Auburn's on a roll. Gus Malzahn's done a fabulous job. He's got Auburn on track for a showdown with Alabama. I'm going to go with Auburn.
Yeah, I'm going with Auburn too. And I tell you what, when we were doing our picks for the paper and our picks grid, I actually asked for some help from people around me sitting in the sports department. I said, tell me why I should pick Auburn. I guess maybe in my head I'm just thinking about the Auburn team of the last few years, the Georgia team of earlier this year, and I'm not really seeing what the reality is now, because the reality is Gus Malzahn's got Auburn looking back towards national championship type seasons instead of what they've had these last couple years. Not going to play for a championship this year, but looking fantastic. Georgia's defense going to struggle against Auburn's offense, so I'm going with Auburn in this one as well. All right, Barry, what about out west? Stanford goes to USC. Might be considered one of the games of the week, which is surprising after USC fires their coach earlier this year.
You know, Ed Orajuwon has done a fabulous job, interim coach at Southern Cal. They've won some games I didn't think they could win, notably at Oregon State. Ed Orajuwon, head coach at Ole Miss, 3 conference wins, SEC wins in 3 years. He's already got 4 at USC in the Pac-12. This is going to be a good game. USC's found some offense. They seem to be playing freely without the shadow of Lane Kiffin. But I think Stanford's got them a squad. I think Stanford's going to win, but it's going to be a good game. Yeah,
I'm going with Stanford in this one as well. What Stanford's defense did a week ago against Oregon's offense, I don't know if they can duplicate that again this week, have another effort like that. But, boy, they showed something, you know. I didn't think Stanford could pull off that kind of defensive effort, holding an Oregon team under 4 touchdowns. I mean, I never thought anybody'd do that this year. Fantastic win. I'm going Stanford. All right, Barry, what about some Big 12 games? TCU goes to Kansas State. Purple on purple. Who you got?
Well, I'm going to take Kansas State because the Cats are playing as well as anybody in the Big 12, with the exception of Baylor. Cowboys got lucky, got Kansas State early. Sooners got unlucky, have them late. Kansas State's really got it righted. TCU's been a massive disappointment all year long. Kansas State probably wins big.
I don't know if I've got them winning big, but I definitely have K-State winning. Yeah, TCU, just not what we thought they were going to be. And my thought at the beginning of the year was TCU needed Casey Payhall to be the quarterback, to lead that offense, to match up with that great defense that TCU's got. It's just never happened. And K-State knows how to handle offenses that are a little bit woeful. And right now, TCU's very woeful. All right, Barry, what about the game down in Norman? Iowa State comes to OU. Who you got?
Well, I got the Sooners, and rarely has a team ever needed a blowout the way the Sooners need one. They need to wax Iowa State for confidence, for just some comfort, just to get people off their back. If OU wins this game 24-16, I mean, people are going to be taken to the streets with swords and torches. Sooners, if they could win this one 48-7, it would make everybody feel better. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be somewhere in between, just a solid victory for Oklahoma. But clearly the Sooners will win.
Swords and torches. For some reason, that visual image
of
people walking down Lindsay with their swords and their torches out has me laughing. Yeah, I'm going Sooners in this one as well. I think they'll win by 3 or 4 touchdowns if I had to guess. Iowa State knows how to play some defense, so that Sooner offense is going to have to get going, sort of like we saw them get going against Texas Tech. You don't want to have Iowa State hanging around, getting confidence, getting themselves going. OU wins, but yeah, they need to win fairly big. All right, Barry, what about this big game down in Austin? Oklahoma State going to Texas. Who you got? I
got the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys could win fairly easily. I'm more impressed with OSU than I am Texas right now. Texas has done a great job getting to 6-0 in the Big 12, but they've been a little lucky doing it. Had to get the officials' help at Iowa State, plus some third down late conversions. Lucky to win at West Virginia. Had to convert a 4th down to win that game. Texas, you tipped your cap to the way they've resurrected their season, but OSU's playing better and better. I like the Cowboys.
Yeah, I do too. And I like him even more in the fact that that defense, that Cowboy defense, which has been solid to spectacular at times all season, is going to be playing a Texas offense that just continues to have trouble, thinned out by injuries. They lose Jonathan Gray to a season-ending injury, so one more running back that they don't have in an area where they absolutely need to dominate. I just don't see Oklahoma State letting them get the kind of a foothold in the run game that like we saw them get against Oklahoma. I can't imagine Oklahoma State, their defense will do that. So I've got Oklahoma State going to Texas and winning. I think, you know, they've gone to Austin and won recently, so the mystique of winning at Texas is off for the Cowboys. And after last year, that disputed game that some people say they should have won, should have been gone the other way, a fumble there at the end. I think those guys remember that and are ready to get a little revenge too. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.